How Long Gone? Beautiful Thursday here in New York City. Them jeans, what's really going on?
You know, just a birthday day in the Glendale area. Just did a little dog walk, having my second coffee, having a little Magna. You know, and I'm realizing it's a little too hot right now. I'm wearing a long sleeve tee, and I don't know.
Okay, so
this would be a good time to do a shirtless pod for my birthday, but I don't know if our guest is going to like that.
So to be clear, it's Jason's birthday today, so please wish him well.
Mm-hmm. It's them jeans, Beyonce. Who else is on that list? Ione Sky, Mark Ronson. You know, nothing but elite media and
that's
content
sick.
creators.
Second best DJ born on September 4th is something that I could see kind of going down there.
You think Mark is second best? I don't know if he's that good. Oh, you're talking about...
He's been working on it for a long time. I think he's getting pretty good at turntablism. No, happy birthday, them jeans. R.I.P. to the GOAT, Giorgio Armani. If you are on Instagram, I'm sure you've seen a million pictures already of him.
Yeah, it's the timing of the Giorgio Armani spa wing at the Kith paddle tennis hammam Erewhon activation. He took one look at that and said, all right, I'm done.
The private members paddle club, everybody's focused on the Erewhon and the paddle. I would like to focus on a New York institution, Cafe Mogador in the East Village, one of my long-time haunts.
Mogador,
celebrated.
The acquisition of Mogador into the Kith portfolio feels targeted and personal to you.
I don't want it to go acquisition. I don't want to take it that far. I think this is probably a license and something
it's not. I mean, obviously, they didn't buy Cafe Mogador.
There was enough money offered. There's enough money offered they couldn't say no. But
similar to the chicken and beer deal that ludicrous Chris Bridges struck with the LAX airport.
Same exact thing. But I'm concerned. Erewhon is going to Erewhon. Like they make they make smoothies with CW actresses. It's like they don't give a shit. They're cashing out. They did a Cactus Plant flea market collaboration, and more power to them. But
one of their worst flavors.
Cafe Mogador is sort of a New York institution that you thought couldn't get touched by Big Kith. But I saw someone tweet this today, and I kind of agree with him. They're like, at this point, I just respect Ronnie Feig for being able to get corny guys to spend so much money.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of where I'm getting. I'm getting to like just a business respect level versus like, I can't believe how popular this is. I've turned a corner.
Yeah. I mean, it is a strength in numbers, and the whole name of the game is who is good and who is better at separating people from their money. And Ronnie Feig's corny ass has found a subsect of dudes who have a lot of money and who are easily swayed. And yeah, I mean, from a business standpoint, yes, more power to him. From the same way, from a business standpoint, Live Golf is killing it. You know what I mean? But it's still
they're not actually. Live Golf is actually. I talked about this yesterday. They're losing.
Oh really?
Millions. Oh yeah, it's fucked.
Okay,
it's
good.
Fucked.
Good news.
Yeah.
Some good news finally.
Well, it's some good news for someone, bad news for someone else. I wanted to tell you a story about something that happened to me last night that is one of the most shocking things that I can remember.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We went to Ohad's opening at 56 Henry, which is right down the street, and I met Shiv there. And Shiv loves Nobu as much as I do.
Okay.
And we haven't been together, so he's like, let's hit Nobu after we go to the opening. I'm like, bet, that's perfect. I would love to go Nobu on a Wednesday. We Uber over to Nobu. We have a great meal. I try some new dishes that I'm introduced to by a regular. And then at the end, our server, who is a 28-year-old white male from Brooklyn, heard us talking about hip-hop music and sort of wanted to get in the mix with us. He wanted to go Elliot Wilson mode and kind of chop it up with the fellas about the state of rap music.
He said, I'm in the barbershop now.
Yes, exactly. He kicked his feet up. He took off his cape and he said, I'm in the barbershop. And so we're talking to him, and Shiv is like, well, what's your favorite, current artist? And he's like, oh, shit. And he's looking around. He's kind of tapping his toe. He's thinking.
Don't like where this is going at all.
He hits us with Vic Mensa, which is the craziest possible answer that I couldn't even anticipate. I couldn't have imagined how bad of an answer this guy was going to give. Vic Mensa is one of the worst rappers to ever exist, much less current or not. You know what I mean? It's just like it's across the board. So this young man made a case for Vic Mensa, and Shiv and I had to behave because we were in Nobu.
Well, I think that, I mean, obviously the Vic Mensa of yore that we are familiar, you know, hanging out with Chance the Rapper and all that stuff, not so good. But I think Vic has maybe turned a little bit of a corner. I know that he's making like speaking to the camera TikTok videos and stuff like
That's
that.
true. I've seen his content. I said content creation. I understand that. And he's also, I think he's punk now as far as look goes.
I think he's punk. I think he's probably sober and he's probably buff and on a new flow. I don't know. I mean, I think he seems like he's a cool guy and he has leveled out a lot more, even though, you know, we all have our little issues here and there. But yeah, maybe from a music perspective, I just mean for it.
I just mean being asked that question and being able to say whatever you want and choosing Vic Mensa is the.
And you have to keep the lychee martini in your mouth and avoid a spit take when you say, you know, greatest rapper of all time right now. What do you got, Vic Mensa? That's
no, dude.
I don't even know if Vic Mensa is going to agree.
The green tea got spilled. It was a shocking moment for everyone. But also, I'm sure you've been following along with the death of Atlanta hip hop, which has been tough.
We're talking about the beef in between. You know, we got the Young Thug jail phone calls, that kind of stuff.
Young Thug is a rat according to the streets, so he's done. Mm-hmm. So Gunna, the supposed rat, who is actually got hits, might come out on top. Lil Baby's done. It's tough. It's tough to see the empire fall.
So Lil Baby is done.
Lil Baby's done. He's got nothing. He's got no songs.
What do you mean?
Zero song. He got no songs. He's just got no song. He put out a flop. That's what I'm saying. So you either rat or you put out a flop, or you're Gunna, who is now fit, has hits, and is in fact not a rat, I guess is what I'm trying to understand. But it's been a revelatory.
I think Lil Baby is going to be just fine.
I don't know.
I think he's doing great. I think he's got a lot of streams and he's got songs with billions of plays. I think he'll be all right. I think, you know, Gunna's he's one of those guys that does 5K runs for content now and run clubs.
Don't attack Diplo like that.
Yeah, right now Lil Baby is the number 186 artist in the world.
I don't know what that data means. Like 100.
That's just according to Spotify. I mean, it's a complex algorithm. I'm not going to explain it to you, Chris. It'll go over your head.
I know. I'm just saying. People say stuff
Gunna
like this.
is 130.
People say this shit to me all the time. I'm like, what does that even mean? Like, what does it fucking mean to be 186 in the world? That means you're behind 185 people, and I just don't. That's not real data. That's not real data.
Well, I think it's a number that is gathered by a collection of lots of real data only. It's not based on opinion or
no, of course.
Anything
but
like
I'm
that.
saying I think that
Young Thug number 214.
Ranking musicians like that just doesn't sit well with me. Like a chart is a different thing. This feels like there's some maybe numbers that we aren't privy to.
What's the difference between a chart and a rank?
A lot. A chart, we know what goes into it. A rank, I don't know what goes into it. The rank feels like there's some shadowy data.
What's
in there.
a goon to a goblin?
Yeah, what's a goon to it? No, but I'm sure if I Googled how does Spotify do it, I could get a laundry list of all of their factors they're considering. Mm-hmm. But that just seems like a bridge too far, even for me, a fan of music.
Yeah, that's a tough sentence to type into Google. I think it counts various data points, including streams, listener engagement, saves, shares, and playlist ads.
Not listener engagement. See, listener engagement, that is what does that mean? Like how long you spend on my Spotify homepage?
That means listener engagement means how many tracks are being saved, downloaded, shared, added to playlists, or skipped. How long you listen to a song before you skip it? That's a big number.
You know how many times I fucking send songs to people to say they suck? So I'm helping in the scheme of things, which doesn't.
That's a good point.
That's unfair. That's bad data. That is bad data. All right. Well, look, we do have a guest today.
Wigsy has entered the chat.
Peter is 1/3 of Saint Etienne, a band that Jason and I have been listening to forever. They have a new album coming out literally today, which is what better way to celebrate than with How Long Gone? So let's talk to Peter.
Hello.
What's up, mate? How are you?
Good. Yeah.
Oh, you're set up. You got headphones. You look like a professional.
Well,
He is.
look, maybe look like one. These are new. I just bought these today, actually.
So you've got those are Sennheiser HD25s, if I recall.
Yeah, the light ones.
Okay, nerds, calm down.
Yeah.
Well, those are DJ headphones. I know Peter's in the booth, right?
Yeah, well, they're kind of for, we're doing a live thing next week, a session. So my ones have got all the things gone mouldy and it leaves bits of decay everywhere. So I thought I'd better get, just in case they're filming, I might have to look at it.
I don't want any decay.
The inside of your older headphones have begun to compost. All the organic material has.
That's the technical.
Okay, but you're still going to keep those headphones because you love them. You just don't know if you want them to be on TV.
I'm going to give them to Bob.
Okay, you're gonna give a hand-me-down pair of headphones to your oldest friend and bandmate.
Yeah.
That's because
Yeah. In case he doesn't bring his own.
I like the idea that you're just doing a little bit better than him, and he might need the hand-me-downs. You know, he can't go get his Sennheisers.
Yeah, I guess over the years, what are some other fun things that you and him have shared?
Yeah, let's not go there. No, we haven't.
Next question.
Yeah.
That's an interesting. I would love. You know that. I thought you could change out the inside of a lot of headphones to prevent what you're talking about, but you're saying, fuck it, I'm buying a new pair.
You probably can. I'm claiming a few things back at the moment because I'm
No, I understand.
getting the band to play for them. So I'll be like,
Yeah, you've already fallen into our tangled web, Peter. Just 1 minute in.
I got that. I've got fancy headphones as well. I got
Whoa,
these,
what are those?
See those?
Yeah.
Those have a fat little ear pad on them.
It's made of goat skin, apparently.
Wait, what is the brand on those, Peter? What brand?
All you vegans out there. They're called Audeze or Audeze. I don't know how to pronounce it. Audeze.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Jason, Jason's a professional DJ and knows more about this than I do. Jason, is this a brand that you're familiar with, or is this beyond your reach?
I've heard of them. I've seen them. They range from, I don't know, like $300-400 up to like a couple $1,000 probably for.
Yeah, these were kind of mid.
Okay.
Price wise.
So hang on, I forgot this isn't the headphone podcast, is it?
No, well, look, it's whatever you want. It's whatever you want it to be.
No, we get deep into the technical stuff.
But the goat skin ear pads, do you feel it? Can you notice a difference? Can you mix for 12 hours in comfort?
It says feel the goat. That should be there.
And try to weave in a calfskin condom reference if you could.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, you can't feel it.
You can't.
These Audeze headphones, they're the size of a small Fiat, but you don't even feel that or notice that they're there.
You don't feel it at all. You don't feel it at all.
Yeah, your head slides in.
Your head just slides in? Is that what you just said, Peter? I love these headphones are so comfortable. My head just is able to slide right in.
Peter, what time is it there, Peter? Have you had something to drink?
Yeah.
Have you had something to drink?
Yeah, what do you got in that coffee cup, my friend?
I haven't actually. I have got a beer in here.
So you're hiding a beer.
Okay, he's drinking beer in the teacup.
You're hiding a lager in your coffee mug.
That's a Radiohead coffee mug, I assume.
It's past 5 o'clock. So it's
No, it's past 5 o'clock. I'm fine
in the morning.
What is your beer? What is your beer of choice?
Oh, actually, this is not my beer of choice, but I'm more of a lager person.
Okay, but you'll take what you can get in a pinch before you have to podcast with some Americans.
Yeah, well, I thought I've had a long day.
Sure. No,
I'm not sure I only had that much though. It's not like I'm not
sure. I don't think. Look. I don't, Peter. I don't think at your experience level that one beer is going to affect you much.
We're not going to take your car keys away.
Yeah. Where do you live in London?
No, Hove, which is sort of next to Brighton, part of Brighton. Really,
okay,
down by the seas.
Yeah, sure. So do you hear the waves crashing? How close are we to the ocean?
Yeah, it's a 10-minute walk or a bit less.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, it's great actually. Go down there a lot actually.
What does Hove have that, let's say, Brighton does not have?
It's It's got loads of.
You can give me a real answer and a joke answer.
A real answer, no. It's kind of. It used to be the old granny bit, and then it's become the sort of more zhuzhy sort of, boutique-y.
Okay, so you're saying you're an early settler, but it's a little more.
It's been in the news.
Boutique.
It's been in the news a lot actually over here because Angela Rayner, who's the Deputy Prime Minister, has just bought a flat in Hove, and because she's kind of Labour, and the Tories are having a go at her and trying to make it out that she's, because she's actually bought a flat, that she's done something wrong, and the people have daubed things on her door and all sorts, poor thing. And they filmed this. The papers are terrible over here. They took a picture of her in a kayak, and but she's drinking a massive glass of wine. It's bigger than my mug of beer. It's like, it's amazing, and she's vaping at the same time. So
okay, at first I was going to defend her. I was like, so she's being treated like Donald Trump for buying a modest apartment in Hove, England. It's not necessarily, Paris or Dubai. But then when you said she was kayaking with a fishbowl full of Chardonnay while vaping,
I think it's quite aspirational, really.
I was gonna say, I feel like that would go viral in America as like a hashtag goals kind of situation.
I want to know. I've only got two hands. How do I paddle, vape, and drink wine and also stay alive?
That's an interesting. Okay, so you're now the prime minister is your neighbor. Do you think your property value is going to go up, or how do you think it's going to affect your bottom line?
As long as I don't get some daubing on my walls, I hope not. But
we gotta protect.
I want to bump into her though. I'd like to see her in a pub or something.
You could see her around at the shop.
It'll happen.
Sure.
It's a tough job.
Is she single?
No. Well, actually, she split up from her. I'm not. She splits up from her.
I'm not saying that it's on the table for you,
Split
Peter.
up from her husband recently, I think. So yeah.
Okay, so if once I know that she split up from her husband, then kayaking with wine and a vape makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
That feels like a temporary coping mechanism, not a lifestyle choice.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great picture, so I'm sure she doesn't think so, but
no, she doesn't. She definitely doesn't think so.
Hove is known for having all those little rainbow-colored buildings by the water, right?
Yes, beach huts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beach huts.
Yeah. So I've been here now 17 years, and you can sort of get on a list to get one. You have to then pay the council for it, but it's a tiny little wooden hut. They cost something like 30 grand.
Well, how I mean, this has a working toilet and stuff.
No
it's
water.
It's just a beach area. You get a piece of beach.
It's more of a shed. It's like a shed that you would keep your tools in.
By the sea.
Like a fishing in Canada, like where you have the little hut with a hole in it.
It's smaller than most. It's tiny. But yeah, we never put our names down, and in a way, it's good because if we got the chance, I'd be like, "Ooh, do we? No, why would we?"
Okay, so people, you get put on a waiting list, and then eventually, 30 years later, when you're about to croak, then they say, "Give us 30 grand, and you can keep your towels in this shed." And then, do people go out there and they decorate them and they have it?
Yeah,
you just sit in your shed and be proud.
Half the time, they're not using them at all, and I'm like, well, imagine spending all that money.
Well, you get 3 good beach days in London.
The Hove Beach ain't Southampton, so I'm sure there's plenty of off season.
Well, some global warming has been sort of certainly.
Okay, so are you surfing or what?
I bought a paddle board during lockdown, which is like a surfboard with bigger.
You stand on it. You have your tea in the morning.
It took me a while. Yeah, a glass of wine and vape. And you're supposed to do yoga and things like that. I didn't manage that, but I've stood up on it and managed to. Go along.
Yeah, I've seen
not get lost.
I've seen Dua Lipa do a headstand on one of those on the open water. What do you think, Wiggs? Do you think we can pull it off?
That's put me off. Yeah. Well, I'd like to see that. Actually.
I have some photos saved in my folder. I could share with you,
I have some footage of this event if you need to see it for your records.
Only for you to correct your form, of course. Yeah. Use it as a reference only.
It's an inspiration.
It's for positioning of feet and things like that.
Exactly.
It's a template.
Exactly. A guide for you, like a Twister style.
Okay, so
photo.
what other bad decisions did you make during COVID?
Yeah.
You made one of your most critically acclaimed records. That was in 2021, right?
That was a good decision. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good
actually,
one.
yeah. I mean, that was great. That just kind of happened sort of organically because we were messing around, sending things to each other, me and Bob, because you weren't really allowed out.
even in I feel like down where you're at, things were loose. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it was a pretty good place to be actually, because you could go down the beach.
That's what I mean. I
know,
mean, even though the beach is rocks and too rough to get in the water, it's still fresh air.
And it was a lovely summer that year, but the people went a bit nuts. So they were. I mean, the government went a bit nuts, and they were sort of. If you sat down on the beach at one point, you could get a fine. It's like, come on!
Oh, yeah.
I dare you!
Yeah, I saw videos of like the police chasing guys on the beach for just like standing out in the open, being the one person.
That's why we all got paddleboards, so they couldn't catch us.
That was your getaway car.
Yeah.
Chris and I were talking this morning about that record, and during that time. I was saying maybe it's not your Sea Change, the Beck album, but it was like definitely a down tempo turn into some sort of loopy kind of spaced out kind of vibe, vapor wavy, one could say.
Yeah.
So all that is to say, what drugs were you taking during COVID to make you want to make some sick ass Clams Casino loops and stuff like that?
It was a mixture. Well, not the drugs. No, it was a mixture. Bob was really into vapourwave, and he was going, and I'm into nerdy software and things like that. And I was the two things kind of combined because he was talking about this, and I was going, I've just been getting into ripping samples apart and slowing them down.
Okay.
And so I was like, he said, "What do you mean? What do you mean?" And I went, "Oh, like this." And he was like, "Oh," and it was like, "Oh, try that." And sending it backwards and forwards, and it wasn't meant to be an album. It was just a diversion. And then we'd actually started another album, which we'd almost finished, and then COVID kicked in, and we couldn't finish it off. And so we've actually got that lurking somewhere to be.
Oh, it's still okay. So we have the unfinished in the vaults.
Yeah, it's not quite Smile. It's not so half Grimace.
Our new album Grimace is in stores soon.
If I read correctly, the album that comes out today, you said is going to be your final record. So then, if you are still sitting on half of a Smile, does that mean we're going to get that in 10 years in the deluxe box set, or what's going to happen with that?
Well, yeah.
You can do that one like a Taylor Swift vinyl only release, 11 different colors to pad your sales numbers.
Whatever you can do. So why is this the last? What's the problem? Why are you packing it up? You guys have never, because you've never broken up, right? You've always just taken some breaks.
He's say. Like, yeah, we've been dying to stop.
Long gaps, yeah.
Because it's been what 25, 35 years?
35.
Mamma mia.
It wasn't my decision. I think basically I've been fired, and they're just going to carry on without me.
They're like, wait, we got another guy actually. Yeah, step in.
But it's one of those things. Whenever you record an album, you think, well, maybe this is the last one, and the last two albums came in relatively quick succession, and I guess everyone's getting slightly old and thinking, well, these ones have gone down pretty well with people, and it makes sense in a way if you're going to choose, the end of your, career, as it were. It's nice to do it in a sort of dignified way when hopefully people are kind of into it still, and it's,
I agree.
Quit at the top, bow out gracefully.
It's a rare thing to do. People usually.
What are some other great British bands that went too far and should have stopped, but then kept releasing albums?
There are, all of them. No.
Because like I know The Cure just released an album like a year ago that people still loved.
Yeah,
it was good,
and his voice sounds great.
I mean, I guess New Order's still out there doing stuff, and The little Pet Shop Boys are still doing stuff. Orbital and Chemical Bros, and they're all kicking around. I guess
I'm trying to think of some names now.
Oasis seems to be doing pretty well right now.
Yeah. We just I'm friends with Steve Mason from the Beta Band, and they've sort of reformed after years, and suddenly they're sold out this massive tour of huge venues, and that way bigger than they'd ever played before. So I'm like, damn, we should have split up.
I mean,
well, now you did.
It is shocking, actually, how much people care about stuff that they didn't think about for the last 20 years, and then it was reintroduced, and they're like, take my money, please. I'll fly to come see this. But I mean, we saw Oasis. It was amazing. They're in America right now. Everybody's seeing them. They're saying it's amazing.
Oh, right, are they? Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, the first band I remember doing it was the Pixies. That was the first I remember being like, oh, this band that I loved growing up that I never saw is reuniting, and it was
unbelievable.
And they were good. They were great.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
And now you've seen them 17 times since they've got back to you.
Yeah. I've more than I need to see them for sure. I
could do my name drop thing that Oasis supported us in the 90s. So. If you didn't know that.
No, I didn't know that.
Well, I'm sure you guys shared a bill once or twice over the years at festivals, yeah?
No, it was just 2 gigs where they were kind of new, and we'd had a demo tape. Because we were kind of on Creation at that time.
Oh, wow.
So, Bob said, oh, do you want to support us? And so did 2 gigs.
It's cool because 2 gigs. I feel like they would be assholes to you in a fun way, kind of. I feel like they would make fun of you, but
they were weird. They were weirdly nice, and I suppose that we didn't know anything about them then, but they were like a fully formed version of themselves, even though it's early days. And so they were like a kind of rock machine, and they were off stage. It was all going on, and. But they were lovely.
Well, they may have bonded with you over the connection of being named after a football team. I know they're big footballers. There could be that. But I mean, they also have like a 60s mod kind of vibe going on, and a lot of your stuff samples that kind of sound. So there's some through line, and they like to party, and you make dance music, which is good to party to.
Yeah, there's a connection.
The connection is drugs and football.
I mean, that's the connection of all British people, actually, I think. That's the fabric of society. It's the 90s easy.
For you.
Yeah, if you don't have one or the other, we're not, the conversation's dead on arrival, right?
Or goatskin headphones.
You've graduated. In that era, were you guys touring like nonstop in Europe?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, the early 90s, up to about 94. It was that was a crazy year where we were everywhere, and felt like almost like you could actually go nuts and stop being friends with each other, but we didn't get to that point. But you can see how it happens.
You're saying it was going so well that you could see how you would hate your bandmates. Yeah. I get it.
Well, actually, that's what Bob said. I was having a great time.
You're like, I don't see what the issue.
This is a dream come true, and Bob's like, I could see how this would ruin me very quickly. Well, you're one of those bands or musicians or artists. Correct me if I'm wrong. Where arguably your biggest song of all time was on your first record. So then you kind of have that little, I mean, you've had many other popular songs over the years, but everyone has their Coldplay Yellow, and same kind of vibe. So all that is to say, when you come out, you're burning very bright. You come out of the gates kicking. So you're doing it all. And that was back when we had budgets at record labels, right?
Downhill all the way.
Obviously, now you're on your last album and you got to talk to us. But what a ride it's been.
At one point, you were sitting with other people on TV and shit, and now
it's exciting stuff. I got very excited about this. It's a local magazine with a terrible name. Oh, it's back to front. The Hoverian.
The Hoverian. It's a nice.
How did they name it that?
It's a handsome little magazine.
Like a disease, doesn't it?
The Hoverian is a crazy.
I found a cyst in my Hoverian.
I'm in it.
Oh, look, there he is.
I was more excited about being in this, even though everyone thinks it's a rubbish. But,
this is your NME.
Yes.
This is your Kerrang.
I was like, I've made it.
That's actually. I think that is a nice. Is this in celebration of this new album? They revisited their favorite resident.
That was more.
Or did you grow the largest squash in town, and that's why you got to grace the pages of the Hoverian?
It's my paddleboarding skills recognized at last.
I mean, you should go over to the board of the beach shacks and show them, put that up against the window and be like, does this change things?
Yeah, this is currency, you see.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of drunk with power after showing us that.
What do you do down there, though? Do you have a garden and shit? Like, what do you do all the time besides make music? Obviously,
all the time, yeah.
Besides make music, but like, what are we doing down there?
How are the aubergines looking?
Yeah, no, tiny garden. I go to the gym 3-4 times a.
Oh, Wiggs is in the gym. What are we doing
with my wife?
What are you and your wife? What are you guys doing in the gym? That's cute.
We got a trainer, a personal trainer.
Your trainer's a little person. Could you scroll that camera down? It looks like you've got a nice little rig on you.
I'm not.
So hold on.
I'm not gonna.
You're like, no, I've strategically programmed my camera to do not show anything above the nipple.
You want to be mobile.
I'm not getting anything on. It's to stop seizing up, basically. Yeah,
I go to the gym every day, and my wife works out every day, but I don't want to do that together. That's my time. That's my time.
Yeah, it's funny. It's because we really enjoyed that, and it's like a bonding. It started.
That's nice.
COVID again, just after we're like, right, I need to. Not waste away.
Well, I think Peter needs somebody to drive him to the gym.
Yeah,
sure. I mean, so it kind of works out well.
Yeah, hold on. I'm coming in 1 second, babe.
It's slightly competitive sometimes, in terms of. I feel like shit. She's doing the same weights as me, so I better.
That's what I was going to ask. That was my question. I hope you're putting up. I hope you're putting up a little more weight than the missus. So what do you wear to the gym? Do you have a look? Are you like an all black guy?
Goat skin. No, it's actually, I'm actually wearing what I went to the gym in.
It's an audio-based podcast, Peter, so you're all good.
Oh, phew, thank God for that.
I would love to know what the number one Hoverian has on his feet, though, when he's in there. Like, what's the sneaker story?
Actually, I've been wearing tennis shoes, strangely.
They're flat though. They're nice. They're not bad for lifting.
They seem to work better. Yeah, a bit more stability.
Are you a tennis player as well?
We started doing that, and then we've stopped again. Carly keeps injuring herself. Like a few years ago, she had a spectacular injury where she smashed her shoulder into pieces.
Playing tennis?
Yeah, we were just warming up, and and I sort of did we were supposed to be hitting the ball to each other, and I'd sort of hit it a bit away from her. She tried to get it, got the neck. So I did a racket caught in the net and twisted like that. And it both dislocated and shattered her shoulders.
The famous Peter drop shot strikes again.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah. No.
So we were having a friendly rally with the love of your life, and you said it's time to get one past this bitch, and then boom, next thing you know. You said the shoulder was both shattered and dislocated.
Yeah.
So there was nothing to pop back into the socket.
No.
And it's sort of all your fault. Yeah, that's tough.
Bank holiday weekend. So she was in. And this was just after COVID. So the hospitals were, full of. She was in there for 3 days before they even operated on it.
3 days?
Because it was a bank holiday weekend as well. The doctor couldn't get there till I say 3. It was a Saturday. He came in on a Monday. So it's a lot.
I love that there's no doctors available on the weekend. I don't care if it's a holiday. I'm getting a doctor.
Look, the healthcare is free, but
you're gonna wait. Man.
You're gonna have to wait. Also, when you said it was a bank holiday, with your great British accent, it made it seem like I was listening to BBC Radio 3, and we're about to put on the new Calvin Harris for the weekend.
It's your bank holiday weekend. Okay. So did you feel some guilt when she was in? Did you feel responsible?
Not really, because she didn't make me feel responsible. So that was good of her. She could have easily gone. Why?
But you had to take care of her for a year
Yeah,
while she
it took
recovered.
a long time. Yeah, it was.
I hope this wasn't her dominant shoulder.
No, luckily.
Okay,
Oh,
well that's good. That's the one.
You had to do
plus.
all the washing and stuff like that. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's actually a crazy story though, because that's how you really get hurt. Some
Yeah.
weird shit. Like my hand got caught somewhere, my body kept going.
And it was one of those things where we weren't going to play tennis that day. We were going up to stay with some friends and then go out to a party. And we were like, oh, we got that extra half an hour. Let's do it. So it was yeah. It was one of those.
Okay.
That's when they get you. That's when they get
Yeah.
you.
So
That's when they get
we've
you.
hung up the Yonix. We don't talk about her anymore. That's the name of a racket.
Yes, yeah. That's the make of her one. So maybe there's it.
Wow, Jason, you're a damn clairvoyant.
Yeah.
I can call it. Okay, well, let's. I want to talk a little bit. You mentioned earlier that you're kind of like a gear slut, a plug-in junkie. You've got all these little synths and
Yeah.
equalizers and effects and
A lot of it's
software.
It's often software. It's not real stuff because I haven't got a very big studio here.
But you used to, like when you first started, I'm assuming you were sampling with analog gear because you know the software didn't really exist in 1990, so you're using MPCs or other samplers like that.
It was mainly at Ian Katz's place in Croydon where we recorded the early stuff.
Croydon.
And occasionally we'd buy synths and things and then leave them there because we didn't have, there's no point carting them around type thing.
Well, nowadays in 2025 for this new record, are you using any old gear or is it all, have you given up and gone soft?
There is, because we recorded a lot of this actually in Hove as well, which is handy for me. Tim Powell's place, he lives around the corner.
Okay.
Or, well, not around the corner, but walkable. And and he's got
Tim's flat is walkable.
It's
around the
walkable.
corner.
Yeah, it's good to know.
Good to know.
He's got a bunch of analog stuff there, so we managed to get that on a few of the tracks, which is nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have musician neighbors then. You have friends and colleagues that are out in Hove with you.
Yeah. And then, so Paul from Orbital, he lives in Hove as well. Oh, he lives in Brighton, but we bump into each other in Hove. So that's when I asked him to do the collaboration on this album.
So you bump into Orbital at the dog park and say, "Hey,
it's at the coffee on the beach.
let's hop on track 12. Why don't you?" Actually, well, I really like that song with Orbital. It's a winner.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? Yeah, it took me a while because I wasn't going to ask him. Then again, Carly was saying, "Go on, you've got to ask him." And say, "Yeah, I thought it might spoil our moment. We just sort of met." Having coffee.
Right.
Oh, that was okay. You're saying you just recently met. You didn't meet back in the day.
I did. I met him in the 90s, or both of them, through Bob. He didn't, because Bob was a journalist. He'd interviewed Orbital. We'd never done any live stuff, and we were trying to work out how we could take what we'd done and do it live. And Paul said to him, "Oh, come and watch us set up." And so we went to this venue in Brixton, the Brixton Fridge, I think. And
cool name.
And we watched them set out, and we were like, cool.
Yeah,
okay.
Here's how you can play all this music live, and then you're like, I'll stick to the Wurlitzer.
Like, shit, we really don't know what we're doing. But then so I hadn't seen him since then, and then a friend of mine was doing a DJ night at a pub in Brighton, and Paul was there, so. I sort of reacquainted, and then we kept bumping into each other on the beach.
That's I like that story. That's how collaboration should happen. There were no managers emailing. You ran into your old friend at the pub and said, let's get in the lab.
And you bought him a couple coffees before you stuck it in. It wasn't.
Yeah, that motherfucker likes almond milk too. It's not cheap.
But I think it's good. Orbital's been around for a long time. You guys have as well. I'm sure it was, it was exciting for him to do something a little different.
Yeah, I think
because I feel like the sound that you guys have created, the modern day version of Saint Etienne, I think the timing of it has really aligned with like the way like indie dance music is kind of currently going, or I should say going back to.
Yeah,
I think
it's funny, isn't it? I know. It's
but
a
like you
funny
hear
blur.
a lot of young DJs and young producers, and you would think that like the first time you heard some of these kind of like cheesy trance songs from the 90s, and all this stuff that you would sort of brush off as dumb back then, or like, I'm gonna hang out in the cool room where they're playing like the real underground shit, and you guys can have fun in the main room with that bullshit. They're really starting. They're discovering it and making it cooler and more tolerable and more interesting. So now there's like this kind of like bubblegum trance and housey, like cheesy kind of music, but done in a way that's kind of like kitschy and fun. And I feel like that's what you were doing originally back then. Yeah.
Yes. That's my
Exactly.
answer. Yeah.
Podcast over.
That's exactly what we
My
were
answer
doing.
to
That's
it.
exactly what we were doing.
Exactly. Well, I guess we weren't deliberately. Nothing's been that deliberate in a way.
You didn't orchestrate this whole thing. This is just the way the cookies crumbled.
In quite a nice way. I mean, I like the fact that there's kids. Well, what I say kids, I mean people in their 20s or whatever. That
26-year-old children.
Yeah, that have discovered St. Etienne recently, and and then listening to we've got quite a lot of stuff you can listen to online. So once you're in, there's kind of a lot
to explore.
You have a deep and rich catalog for them to,
and it's quite
extract.
varied, so you can find your own sort of pathway through it if you like.
Have you noticed some of these children downloading your music and extracting the stems with AI technology to make dope ass trap remixes of your music?
No, I haven't. There is. Someone told me there's a good one. I need to find it's a guy I like anyway. I've forgotten his name. Anyway, he did this really good. He did a really good Tame Impala one. What's his name? Star. Hang on, Star. It's got the word star in it. He did a really good Stevie Nicks remix as well. Star Lord. That's it. Star Lord. Great name. Or is that? Am I getting confused with Guardians of the Galaxy?
Oops. If you look up. Yeah, I mean, there's too many Tame Impala remixes where somebody named Star something.
And he doesn't. It's called. That's called. He doesn't credit the sample, so it's called "Let It Acid," I think, which is a pretty good name.
That is a good name.
Yeah, that's a great track. Star Killer.
Let It Happen. Hold on. Let It Happen is a song by Tame Impala.
Yeah.
Tame Impala, Let It Happen, and there was a Soulwax remix. I don't know. I mean, we could go over this all day. There's somebody named Disco Lines. That's like a new person that's not cool.
Peter, how do you find new music? Do you like go to the record store, or are you on Spotify like the rest of us?
Not so much record stores anymore, I'm afraid. But yeah, it's recommendations from friends, and I've got this good bunch of sort of music friends, and we make playlists for each other and stuff like that. So that's a good one. And do kind of podcast type things. But then I do a podcasty type affair show, I guess, with a friend of mine. We play quite sort of left field music, and it's a good way of keeping on top of stuff, or listening constantly to new things. And there's a couple of sort of online stores that I like to find recommendations. One called Boomcat, and they describe. They write really good descriptions. Quite flowery. I'm quite impressed. I'm rubbish at that sort of thing.
Boomcat. The cat is spelled with a K. For our Googlers out there.
You're saying their sort of track descriptions are poetic in their delivery.
And so you go, I want to hear that.
Well, there's a new Burial 12-inch that just came out. The Boomcat authors just really write a rich prose.
Sometimes I don't know what they're talking about, but it sounds good.
I like those those descriptions are good, because if you for fans of this and this, and sometimes it feels like the album description was written just for you and your particular tastes.
Yeah.
And you might normally just skip it over.
There used to be this record shop in Manchester called beating rhythm. And whenever we were in Manchester, we'd go there. And it was a kind of soul record shop, particularly. And they had all these boxes of 7-inch records. And the people that worked there would write, they'd pick out choice kind of records, and they'd write a little cards describing it, and going, if you like this, or this kind of got this kind of beat, and it's brilliant. And then you had record players, so you could go and listen. So
take a listen.
Otherwise, my memory is terrible. I'm like,
this is what they say. I mean,
it's great. It's great to have some pointers.
This is what bookstores still do. The ones that are left standing, they'd always have like the staff picks, and they all try to like out quip each other, and the fucking 3-inch plate they have to be creative, and it's always a fun read.
I like being guided towards things.
You had a zine back in the day called CAF, CAFF. So you have a history of journalism. What does CAF mean to the uninitiated?
It's like shortening of cafe. In a sort of more Cockney, you'd say down the calf, and you'd write it like that. You'd write it like
Got
that.
it, down the calf.
I can't remember why we called it that. I have no idea.
Nice pronunciation change.
Yeah, that's the real me.
I mean, it would be weird if your zine had a good name. All good zines are supposed to have kind of tongue-in-cheek dumb names.
It's sort of
I like them that way.
Came from, we used to make kind of things like that for each other, instead of writing letters. Well, when Bob was at college and I was at school still, instead of writing a letter, because this is the old days before telephone, before internet.
So you're saying you guys were like best friends, and this was your way of like communicating and staying in touch.
We do, and we do collages and cut out speech bubbles from one cartoon and stick it over, and then daft things like that, and then so making a fanzine was a sort of extension of that, and writing about music, and I did more of the daft bits, and Bob then went on to actually be a journalist. So.
That's but I really like that way of communicating. That's an interesting.
We're probably on some kind of spectrum.
Instead of sending your pen pal a note of what you've done with your life for the last month, you're like, here's what I think about the new Aerosmith album. 800 words.
I remember I went away for 3 months traveling around Europe and stuff. And when I got back, I'd written in this massive, a journal type thing, but I hadn't posted it, I don't think. And so I'd been back for about 2 weeks, and I hadn't told him. But the reason he knew I was back was I'd sent him this cassette with a few songs, but it had this kind of weird sketch about Daffy Duck on it or something. I don't know. Yeah. And he was like, I don't know. How did you make this? And I said, I'm back. Yeah, sorry. Didn't tell you.
Like a sketch comedy?
Kind of. Well, comedy's probably a push, but
okay.
Sure.
In theory,
in theory, it was comedy. But I think that is really like that's how people used to stay in touch. I mean, Jason and I are probably more of a mixed CD generation than cassettes, but we lived through cassettes as well. Lived through cassettes
I wish I'd kept. I think I moved house a lot and lost all the cassettes Bob used to make for me, and I've got massive gaps in my record collection because Bob used to buy everything and then tape it for me, but he'd also make amazing not sleeves, what would you call it, kind of inserts for the cassettes, and they'd all be handmade.
Damn, Bob's a good fucking friend, I gotta say.
I know. I don't know how many I gave him.
I need a Bob in my fucking life. I ain't got no Bobs.
I think there's some listeners out there who wouldn't mind being your Bob, Chris. They'll do. They'll draw a sleeve with a Sharpie if it means getting in your good graces.
Well, how do you guys record in the same room, or is it a thing where you kind of do it and then send it to her and she lays it down?
It's sort of used to always be in the same room kind of thing, and what with internet and all that, we
technology.
Yeah, we now do start things off at least separately. Obviously, the lockdown album was a different story. We had to do it that way. Yeah, with this album, we were all in the studio together for a couple of weeks kind of thing. I was kind of able to go every day because I live around the corner, but
but I'm saying, you start it, you and Bob basically like start it, and then when you go into the studio for a couple of weeks, you know what you're doing.
Yeah, so we all start separately, because Sarah often works with someone else, and then Bob works with this guy up in Bradford, and then I just do stuff here, and then we kind of send things, go, I've got this idea, and then we send things back and forth. We need a melody on this one, or I can't think of all the lyrics for it and things like that. So sometimes you do a little bit on a song, other times you do a lot of it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm glad that you asked that, because I think a thing about your band is that you've never seemed to have an issue or like writer's block or anything like that. Like, you've consistently released albums, every few years for the last 35 years. Like, how many records do you guys have?
Some reports say this is the 13th, and some say it's the 12th. I just listen to what people tell me. I don't know. I haven't got a clue.
Some reports, people are saying, the streets are saying it's 13. Yeah. The streets are saying it's 13. I mean, yeah, that is very consistent.
Yeah, what's the secret to being able to release? I mean, and those are just full-length albums. We're not even talking about singles and EPs.
Yeah, it's done quite a lot of other things, and sort of
deluxe editions and soundtracks and whatnot.
Yeah, lots of B-sides. Well, I suppose there's some of them had quite big gaps between, but then we were always doing gigs and other things. Yeah, like film projects and things. But yeah, I don't know really. It's just having some gaps is nice, and then you're desperate to do something new.
But you guys actually, it strikes me as you guys actually get along.
Yeah.
Like, you actually like each other.
Yeah, I know. We have a laugh. I meet some bands sometimes, and they just hate each other. It's like, God, I can't imagine going on like that. It's
what are some of those bands, Peter?
Yeah. I can't say.
I don't think the Beta Band seems to hate each other that bad.
Don't talk about the Libertines like that, okay? I'm not going to allow that on this podcast.
Potentially Oasis, perhaps.
Potentially.
I've read something about that.
I hear that.
But I do think that is, I think it's pretty rare, but I also think that there a lot of people, they get to a certain point where the money's just too good, and they're like, what else would I do? I'd rather suffer than like find a new job.
Most people don't like their job, so
yeah, true, yeah. And we've not hit that point where the money's too good.
You're like, this, I know this is the last record, but so far so good.
Who knows?
So far so good.
Well, now that this is your last record, and then you can quote unquote break up.
Yeah.
And then, in 4 years you'll be headlining Coachella and Glastonbury.
The master plan.
We didn't know what we had.
We're on to your bullshit, Peter. All right, you're not fooling us. You're not fooling us.
Yeah, I know. You did Glastonbury. Like in 94, I think.
That was the first.
That was the first time. I'm sure you played other times as well, of course. When was the last time you went to Glasto? Maybe just as a fan or a performer.
Oh, I've been going the last 5 years.
Oh, okay.
Every year, yeah. As a well, we played about 4 years ago, I think, but I've been going, with a bunch of friends and. Just for fun.
Okay, so all the shaggers get together and you guys fucking camp, or what are we doing? Like, let's be honest. Let's be honest.
How do you Glasto, Peter?
We do camp actually, but
we do.
In the posh bit. No,
it's a posh bit. It's a glamp.
Actually, this year we glamped because it was our 20th wedding anniversary, so we kind of went for the jugular, and it was really good actually. It's a bit now you're a bit like, oh.
Can I go back?
Can we go back? Right.
It's more fun in the nosebleeds, but you got to do it for the anniversary, right?
I like that. To celebrate your 20th wedding anniversary, you and your wife did ecstasy and watched Charlie XCX at 1 a.m. That's beautiful. That's what love is to me.
Yeah. So what are you guys doing there? Are we enjoying a delicious meat and cheese platter and then going over the day's lineup and then bopping around?
There's a kind of gang of us that go. It's part of this people, I was saying earlier, amateurism, the kind of sort of crew that would DJ, and they all DJ at this backstage bar, and that's the kind of focus. So we hang out there a bit, and I did a set in there, and then another set at the park at a different stage, backstage. So they're just small things, but so a bit of DJing is fun. I just do it because I'm there rather than I'm not getting paid.
You need something to do with your hands at Glastonbury. I get it.
Yes, to give it focus.
You're like, all this music sucks, but I'll DJ for 45 minutes.
I'll show them.
You're showing up with a USB stick, though. You're not bringing vinyl, right?
Yeah, USB stick.
Okay.
Okay. It's just really good fun. Yeah, we do a lot of dancing, wandering around.
I gotta say, I gotta say, you sound like you kind of got it figured out. We talked to a lot of people on this podcast, and I gotta say, your lifestyle seems very dialed in.
Do you have kids, Peter? You got kids?
Yeah. So,
Yeah, well, you almost got there.
yeah. Although we've got, I tell you what, I had this moment of great happiness just before Christmas. So my son is 22, my daughter's 19. Well, I think she was 18 then, but yeah, went to the pub basically, and we were sat in the pub having a drink, as you do, and I just suddenly thought, and we were having a laugh, and I was like, this is like the peak of my life in a way. I've got kids that want to come and have a drink with me, and we're actually having fun and talking, and I was like, God, I'm sickening, really.
No, that's big. That's big. I mean,
too happy.
Most people cannot say I have two young children who would enjoy, spending time with me, going to get a beer or two and hanging out with their dad.
Yeah,
it's not so common nowadays.
I was like, I've made it. I really thought, apart from the Hove magazine, that was the other time.
Did they think you're cool? Like, do they get it? Like, do they think you're cool?
Yeah, I think cool would be a stretch as well, but but they kind of well, I'm speaking for them. They sort of appreciate my son particularly. He's really into music. My daughter is, but in a different way. But he's really into this kind of 90s music, I suppose, as well. So he's aware now of like, all these people I've been talking about, name dropping over the years.
Yeah, you're like, Dad, you're like, Dad's the fucking OG, young buck. Like, don't forget it.
And he's like, what, you've met Brett Anderson? He's a massive Suede fan, basically.
Okay, that's good.
Big Suede.
Which is quite good.
So do you feel, I mean, obviously, I'm sure you in your situation, a person who loves and creates great music, when you have kids, what did you have a strategy on how you were going to get them into good music, or were you just like, you guys do whatever you want?
Yeah,
and grow organically.
I tried to do the hands-off approach with my children. That sounds weird.
How long did that last?
Yeah, but I actually.
But sometimes you just got to hit them. You know what I
mean? Yeah. With records. Take this. I did used to play my daughter's St. Etienne record to go to sleep to regularly. So that was slightly indoctrinating. But then she's probably the one that's least into us.
Yeah, sure. You ruined it for her subconsciously.
Although she heard the Orbital collaboration the other day, she goes, "Huh, it sounds good. It sounds housey." And I was like, "Yeah, we've got loads of housey records."
Sweetheart, you should explore the catalog.
Yeah.
I've been making housey music decades before you knew what that word was.
That's a good story. That is your son a musician himself?
Well, my daughter is an amazing pianist. I'm not, but she is. My son he's taken up guitar. He's really into the whole analog world. So he's well, I say analog. He likes CDs, sort of physical media and stuff.
Really? See, that's good. That's reassuring. I mean, obviously he's got cool parents, so he's more likely to do that. But that is something we're seeing, trend wise.
It's a kind of rejection of a lot of the sort of digital stuff and streaming. Although he'll watch films on stream, but he's also got a Blu-ray player,
oh wow, he's buying Blu-rays.
He's bought a camera, that has film and stuff like that.
Sure.
So I think it's like something to hang on to, and slightly envious of us, having grown up pre-iPhones, I suppose, in a way, and yet kind of loving all that stuff as well. Or he did, but it's a funny mixture of, feelings.
It's a best of both worlds situation. I mean, at least if you know about it, you can explore it. I feel like a lot of people just ignore it completely at that age.
Yeah,
they're not concerned.
Neither of them like social media, which is kind of weird.
Really?
It's good. I'm really happy because of all the stuff you read about, and that I'm glad that they sort of swerved that one. So that it means they've swerved a lot of the kind of
you guys raised
sniping.
Them right.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
That's great.
Who put together the artwork for the I've been trying to tell you, like the Alasdair McLellan photo? Because it really struck me when I saw it. That's part of the reason I listened to it. It's very, very powerful. Is he a fan, or was that just
yeah.
Okay.
It was another sort of good thing about lockdown was we were making that record, and got a song on an advert for Daisy, I think, perfume.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was quite handy at the time. Because where are we going to get any
You
money?
mean all the money was
we didn't
handy?
get much, but it was enough. It was enough to go. Okay, breathe easy.
Okay, I love it.
For a week, and but Alasdair directed the video, and turned out that we found out that he was a fan because of that, and yeah, got in touch. I can't remember if he got in touch with us or we probably got in touch with him, right? And Bob sent him the new stuff, and he was like, "Oh, do you think I could make a film to go with it?" And we're like, "What?" And do some photos, and like, yeah, sounds amazing.
I'll think about it.
Yeah.
That's the best. That's the best. When it comes up like that, I mean, you couldn't write the script better.
And you don't have to stalk him at the beach over months and months, buying him coffee to eventually get the collab.
And it was like the sort
nice.
of production values that we couldn't afford at all. Do you know what I mean? So it's amazing. And then and so just after, sorry, I keep talking about lockdown, but just after lockdown, the BFI, which is the British Film Institute, which is they have a kind of cinema on the South Bank in London. It's just been famous for years, and they gave us a whole weekend. I mean, they turned over a whole weekend to films we worked on and did a premiere for that, and it was just another high point. I was like, wow, this is I've been a film fan for years,
because you guys do a lot of like soundtrack and like score work.
Yeah, and it's kind of it's not. No one's really paid us for it yet, but
labor of love.
It's been working with friends really, and people that are directors, and partly because no one else has asked, but also it's a bit like that sort of independent thing where you are doing it for the kind of art side of it, and then the creativity, and it feels like a real team type thing. Where working with a sort of hands-on director who is shooting and editing, and it's like a little sort of guerrilla type team, and it was great fun doing all that stuff. And then so you feel the music is considered a real part of the whole film, and the director is treating it as that as well, so it's really nice. It's like an extension of making an album, really.
Yeah. There's like a mutual respect, and it does. They feed each other a little bit.
I would say a good needle drop in a film is arguably the most memorable moment of a good picture.
Yeah,
more so than an amazing line delivery.
It's the kind of thing. So chasing, I suppose, is to get that moment where people will go quiet or stop, tears in the eyes, or the shiver type thing.
Yeah.
Fortunately, all the songs that make me do that cost too much money, so I never hear them in fucking movies. That's the problem.
Well, Peter can do a replay. It'll just cost you $1,500, no problem.
Yeah.
I think I got the chords right here. Well, I feel like a lot of your songs, they have cinematic intros where I feel like if I was a producer, it's ripe for sampling. Like there's just like a perfect little 8-bar melody loop right at the beginning with no drums or vocals on top of it.
Yeah.
Is that something that you intentionally did, or was paying it forward to the samplers
for the DJs?
No, we probably sampled it from someone else.
Like no, we stole that.
Yeah, sadly we can't license that to you because we nicked it. Yeah.
I'm assuming I wasn't there in the early 90s, but that was like when it seemed like there was I was there, but I wasn't really old enough to be a cultural critic of what was going on. I know that era was when the Western culture started really falling in love with Japan, and kind of vice versa. I feel like your sound being like cute, groovy kind of vibes, and you guys all looked the part. When you guys went to Japan, was it like were you welcomed with open arms? Was it like a little bit of a cool mania?
Yeah, it was kind of amazing. Yeah, we got well, I was going to say chased down the high street by a bunch of schoolgirls, but we kind of did.
Another day in paradise, Peter.
But they were actual schoolgirls. I mean, like not ones you'd literally kids. But it was the teacher that they were following that wanted our autograph.
That's really funny.
Oh, got it.
Get this straight.
There's 30 kids running after us. Oh no, it's just the old guy in the back with the tie on wants to.
It was the mother hen was after you, and her ducklings were following behind you.
It was safe, but we kind of I think we didn't quite realize our show was in its infancy, and there's our stage show, and I mean I think we were quite good, but what we didn't realize was that the ticket price was the same as Michael Jackson. But someone told us it's the same price, and we were playing in this like small venue at 6 p.m. and we brought a DJ with us because we thought that's what we did over here. We didn't realize we were going to be on at 6 in the.
That's really funny.
So Billy Nasty was DJing. He was on at like 5 o'clock to sort of bemused.
The sun's still coming in through the windows.
I love the idea of being on Ticketmaster.jp and being like, well, I got two choices tonight. I got Michael Jackson or I got Saint Etienne. It's the same price.
I've got 50,000 yen burning a hole in my pocket. Who am I going to see tonight? Generational talent, Michael Jackson.
Someone actually on this. We got these kind of snippets between the tracks on this album, and some of them are stories from our past. And so there's one that's in Japanese, but it was relating this thing where after one of these gigs that we didn't realize, cost so much. Someone came up to us and said, "You have a punk rock attitude," and we were like, "Cool," and he went, "No." Not cool.
No. Not cool. And you're like,
words to that.
Thanks,
words to that,
thanks, old Japanese guy who seems to have wisdom beyond our lives.
He was a young person. Oh no.
He's like, I spent all of my yen to see you guys, and I didn't think you're going to have such a punk rock aesthetic to you. You have let me down.
Yeah. Basically, it was withering.
That's so funny. That's so.
But
funny.
So maybe
Jesus Christ.
Japanese career didn't really take off. So we've been a few times.
Well, like I said before, once you quit and then reform in 4 years, Fuji Rock headliner. It'll be you in the 1975.
I'd love to go back because it's a great place. We did go back in about it's probably about 10 years ago now.
Okay.
And did a sort of it was like a supper club. We thought, well, we'll go anyway, just so we can go, And it was two.
You played a Soho House?
2 sessions in the day. It's an amazing venue actually with a good view, but people are eating dinner while you're playing. It's quite sort of odd.
Hey man, as long as the check clears.
Yeah, as long as the flights get booked.
I don't care if you're on Molly or you have chopsticks in your hands.
Yeah,
we're playing. We're gonna fucking play. We're gonna fucking play.
Great job.
Thank you, Peter, for joining us on How Long Gone today. It was a pleasure. The album is out today everywhere that you get albums.
Featuring Orbital, Confidence Man, any other
Vince Clarke.
Oh wow,
Vince Clarke's on there. There's many. Errol Alkan, Tom Chemical, to name but a few.
Okay. The album's called International.
Yeah.
Okay. We called all the homies.
We appreciate it. We appreciate Peter. Can't wait to listen to the record, and hopefully we see you soon.
Yeah, it was fun speaking to you.
Yeah, pleasure.
Pleasure.
Thanks a lot. Cheers, guys.
Toodaloo.